Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
Irish Radio it is with Jerry Byrne. Been speaking to many people of entertainment, the great and the good, and the very talented people of the Irish entertainment scene since we went into lockdown. Speaking to a gentleman, talked to his sister within this past couple of months after she released a new single. I'm delighted to say hello to a gentleman who's been involved throughout his entire life in music, grew up in music indeed, from the incredibly talented Showband Show. It's Keith McDonald. Keith, how are you?
I'm very good, Jerry, and you know what, thank you very much for the call, and I'm delighted to be on your radio show. I hope all is good with you.
Indeed so, yes. So we're battling through in the times that we have. You're a busy man. I mean, you're working. You're back working again with Lorraine with the Showband Show, and you were doing an astounding amount of work.
Yeah, you know what? Like everybody else, we had a wonderful 2019. We put the Showband Show back on the road for a summer tour, which was something nice to do. Like the actual original guys that were in the band, along with us, like Desi and Albert and my brother Peter. So we got to trip around Ireland last summer. We had a fantastic time. Lorraine and myself, thankfully, then had been intermittently touring with Michael English, and we had been all over the UK, and we've been all over Scotland. And then into February we went on a cruise, and then March we went to Scotland again with Michael English, and then we haven't been doing a whole lot since then. But we had a wonderful time in 2019, and keep playing the trumpet, keep practicing. We're recording a few songs. As I said, Lorraine did a new single there a couple of months ago. I reissued a couple of good old country classics that I had out a few years ago. They were celebrating their 10th anniversary. Nothing I Can Do About It Now, and another tune, The Seashores of Old Mexico. And just nice to sit back. And myself and Lorraine hope to go into the studio in the next couple of weeks and record something else, just to keep the finger in the pie, Jerry. That's exactly what we're at the moment.
Indeed. Yeah, I'll have to say that I was astounded to actually to hear when I received another copy of because I played that song so many times. There's Nothing I Can Do About It Now, and I was astounded to hear that it was actually 10 years old. I just could not believe it.
Yeah, 10 years. I remember going into the studio. Desi was playing piano at the time. He had a great old ear for a tune, and that was a Willie Nelson song. And would you believe it, a version that was recorded by Logan McCool I came across even before me, when they made a great version of it, as I would say. And but the Willie Nelson version was the one I heard. And do you know what? I can't go anywhere now where somebody would say, "Sing Nothing I Can Do About It Now." And do you know what? In these times, we got to sit tight, and there's nothing we can do about it now. But it was a great sentiment of a song, and Willie Nelson said he'd forgive everybody that forgiveness would allow. But there's nothing he can do about it now.
Yes.
So it's a great way to end the tune.
Fabulous words. I remember actually when the song came out first, it was on an album which was called A Horse Called Music. That was back in the late 80s.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you know what? I would have been more of a fan of like maybe the swing guys. I love Sinatra and I love Dean Martin. But when you listen to the likes of Willie Nelson from that country, I love Glenn Campbell from a country perspective. I like George Strait, and there was a few of the guys that I would have had CDs. But I did like Willie Nelson, right the way through. And heard a little story that he was only 23, I think, when he wrote "Crazy" and gave it to Patsy Cline. And the guy is nearly 90 years of age, celebrating his coming up on 90 years. And I suppose he spent 70 years in show business. So, myself and Michael English and Robert Mazdell and a few of us, we have a long way to go before we reach the starry heights of that kind of a career, don't we?
Indeed. But I was in speaking to Lorraine. She was telling me about your younger days when you were actually playing in your dad's band. I mean, so you did start very young.
Oh, you know what? I mean, Lorraine might have told you the story, but when Dad went to South Africa with Joe Dolan in the kind of mid-'80s, they went for 6 weeks, and Dad had been he had a little band that would have been playing, but every time Dad wasn't there, the guys they might start 10 minutes later and they might finish 10 minutes early. So Dad got wind of this, and he went to South Africa that year. I think it was around 85 or something, and he got myself, Lorraine and Peter, and we had a keyboard player with us at the time. And he sent, he got us sorted out with the set, and then when he came back, he had a ready-made little band for himself. So it was a wonderful way to start. We were only in school. It was a Sunday morning session in a hotel in Athlone. A few of your listeners might have passed through Athlone, just off the bridge, and it's called the Prince of Wales, and that was the old hotel that we used to play in. And it brings me back, a lot of great memories. And we would have kind of went on then to play some of the local dinner dances and maybe for different charities. And Dad then he'd left Joe Dolan, actually, would you believe it, for about a year. He was mad in the head, but Dad, it was just one of those guys, and we did it. And then he sent us on our merry way, and he went back to Joe Dolan and spent 42 years with that man, touring all over Ireland and the UK and all over the world.
Indeed, 42 years. Wow, that was truly an incredible period of time to to actually be in.
Yeah. Do you know what he did? He had done 42 years, and then do you know what? When Joe sadly passed away, Brendan Grace was looking for an opening act, and my dad spent 12 years. So the last 12 years, unfortunately, before Brendan Grace passed away, and he got very close to Brendan and indeed Tom Kelly and the whole show there. And Dad was right there as the opening act for the summer tour, winter tour, and the autumn tour for 12 years. So it's my dad is just one of those guys. Somebody told me he's the oldest teenager in Athlone, and if myself and Lorraine turn out anything like him, and hopefully we are, we're just going to keep young, keep that glass half full. And look, we've had some wonderful memories in show business, and we won't rest on our laurels. We'll sit back, we'll watch, but we come back with new music all the time. And as soon as the green light comes on for us to get back on the road again, you definitely see Keith and Lorraine and the brother Peter, and we'll be definitely in the thick of it again. Can't wait for it.
That's excellent. Now you have been doing some little little bits and pieces in the open air in Killarney.
Yeah, we've been very lucky in Killarney. We're actually playing the big room, which would be the INEC. So I'm actually doing that as a solo act on my own, and then they would have it socially distanced. So that worked out, and that was in the Gleneagle Hotel, and that's been a stalwart hotel for us. We've been there. Dad used to bring us when we were kids, right back when we were small children. He was playing there with Joe Dolan, and we got to play there for about 9 or 10 seasons with the Showband Show right back in the early 2000s, right up until about 2007, 2008. And it's been every summer. I've always played in the Gleneagle Hotel, and you know what? It's just a part of my summer, and delighted that it could happen again this year.
Oh, that is that is excellent. Even though I know it's a very different situation, a very different scene, but it's nice at least to be doing something along those lines.
Do you know what it is? That the drinks over here have been brought to the table, and they're not really. They make a couple of announcements before we go on, and people are asked to refrain from singing loudly and stuff. But the families are there at the tables, and it's very much their kids and the moms and the dads. So they might go to the pool. They might have their dinner. If the weather's nice, they go and look at the mountains of Kerry, or they can go and play a little pitch and putt. And then from 9 till 11, come in, and I'm one of the acts on for the summer season. And it's been great. I've been down there most Thursdays and a few Sundays now for the last couple of months. So you know what? I'm very lucky just to have, and it keeps me playing the trumpet, and it keeps me turning a few quid. So you know yourself, Jerry.
Indeed.
It's all relevant in these situations. I'm lucky to be doing it, and I appreciate it.
Indeed so, because I mean, let's be honest, it's the vast majority. I mean, we're talking probably 99% of all music acts are not doing anything at all at the moment.
No, they're not doing anything. I heard Robert Mazzell was making garden furniture, but I think he might be just doing that for the summer. But I heard little reports that Robert Mazzell might be down in Killarney with his band coming up into the autumn. So, you know what? There's light at the end of the tunnel, and I know all your listeners, some of them might be going through harder times than others, and I know we're all going through the same storm, but we're all in different boats. Somebody has a big boat, somebody has a small boat, but you know what? Once we can keep healthy and keep ourselves looking forward to up onto Christmas, and then after Christmas, 2021's a brand new year, and sure, look, if if all going well, they'll have all this sorted out, all the guys that are in the know. So there's a lot of intelligent people out there now, Jerry. You know that. We're dependent on them now. They've been in college for years, so all we need now is just to work a little magic, and I'm sure it can be found, and I'm sure someone can do it.
Indeed, yes. There are a lot of very, very clever people out there, and there is, as we speak, indeed, there's ongoing work being done in order to sort this whole situation out, and we definitely will get through it.
Yes, we will. And you know what? I know a lot of people that have been listening to your show have been wonderful supporters of our kind of music and the Irish show bands down through the years. And I just want to wish them all the very best. And if they're listening, I hope that they're going to keep well. And we look forward, maybe with Michael English, if we get another tour in maybe next March all over the UK. Hopefully we'll be coming to a place near yourselves. And I might even get to see you, Jerry. I'll leave 2 tickets on the door for you. How about that? We'll make a deal.
You couldn't beat that, Keith. Thanks a million. Keith, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you, lovely to chat with you. Listen, I wish yourself and your family and one and all the very best, and stay safe and stay well.
Yeah, absolutely, Jerry. I really appreciate the call. Best wishes to yourself. And you know what? I know that your show over there is very popular, and sometimes you be a little bit more popular than you might believe. So keep up the good work, sir. Take care of yourself, and until we see you again, and I'll leave. And don't forget them tickets now. That's a promise. So we're over there. We'll see you as soon as we're over in England. Okay?
Great stuff, Keith. Thanks a million.
You're more than welcome, Jerry. Thank you very much, sir. Bye bye.